Okay. Says this is working, huh? But I don't know if I like how this is working, because this is definitely not how I was planning to have it working. And that's a little frustrating, right? But what can a man do, I guess? What can one guy do in the face of such reckless hate? See, like, I don't even know if this is working. And I don't know if I have easy access to have people let me know if it's working or not, which would be nice. Oh, there's a person. So Gemrock's in here. Okay. I mean, I guess I just can't see what I'm doing, which is a little frustrating. Thank you, YouTube, for making this as difficult as possible for me to see what's going on. Bear with me one moment here, guys. I'm just trying to, like, load up a little something myself here so that I can see what's going on. That is so weird. Today's March 14th. That's cool. So, like, do I have to watch my own thing? I can't see how many people are watching right now. That's just kind of weird. Oh, yeah, I can. Cool. Hey. Hi, everybody. What's up? Nothing super planned for this little get-together. We're just going to chat and hang out, and I'm just, like, working on some stuff, editing, so let me know if you can hear me fine, of course. And we'll just have a great time. It's 2:24 a.m. I guess I'm not going to sleep today. Nobody knows, dude. That's the only thing. That's what you didn't understand. Let's see here. Where was I? I totally got sidetracked setting this thing up.
I was here.
Whoa. But you know what the problem is? I need headphones on. Oh, sorry about that. Probably sounds gross when I do that. Pi Day. Alright, let's see what's up. So we've got a live chat going on. I'm scared, says Mercat the Great. Yay, says Mariah. Sophia. Oh, live now? Hi, how's everyone? Good. I should say good. And then I have to sign into chat. What a mess this is for me to set up this live stream. You'd think that they would try to make this as easy as possible, but I feel like every program is trying to get their fingers into the process, and that's the problem. It makes it really confusing for everything. Ugh. It's lame. You guys are going to hear some pounds on the table, probably. That's what happens when I get angry. Ooh, that sounds different. Nice. And you can't have my desktop audio. Perfect. I don't want you guys to... You don't need to be hearing what I'm editing. That'd be like spoiling the surprise, I think. What you drinking? Nice. Great question. Monster energy drink. And I'm waiting for one of you guys to say, oh my god, do you know how bad energy drinks are for you? Sorry, that's my phone. I'll turn off my ringer. But I'm waiting for one of you guys to go, do you even know how bad energy drinks are for you? And I'm simply going to respond, yeah, I'm not drinking it for my health. I'm drinking it for a little quick burst of energy. So, okay. Elizabeth Rickard tweeted me and says, dang right you needed to end that tweet. I've got a mod somewhere else in 30 minutes. That's awesome. Elizabeth Rickard is pretty funny on Twitter. One of my faves. For sure. At YesterBark1, of course, for the non-haters. Okay. So what I am working on right now is just a little bit of editing a video, and it gets kind of boring sometimes if you're just sitting there working on a video, so I thought it'd be fun to bring some people in. What you drinking, man? I love that. I hope there's not too much ASMR. I know sometimes people like that ASMR stuff. Me personally, though, I hate it. I do not like the sound of people making noises when they eat or when they drink. I think it's kind of gross, and I think it's kind of rude. And sometimes, this is, I think, the silliest response. People will go, okay, but it's actually a sign of respect in other cultures. Like in Korea, it's a sign of respect if people slurp the noodles. Yeah, well, we're not in Korea, dude. We're in America, so let's maybe follow, like, what our societal norms say are good for politeness and stuff like that. That wouldn't work in any other situation. If I, like, did something rude to you, and then I said, yeah, but in Kenya, it's okay when they do it there. Great, dude. So, do it there and follow the rules here, I guess. That's, thanks for coming to my TED Talk on societal norms or whatever. Let's see. What are you drinking, man? Do you know how bad that is for your health? There's like a little delay in the chat though, so I'm almost not sure if like That's an ironic question, or not. You should try a carrot juice. Yeah, right. That sounds gross. That makes me think of Harry Potter. When he breaks his arm in the second one. One of the questions during my weekly therapy sessions if I'm drinking energy drinks. Why? Because they're like, well, you should try it because it would probably be pretty good. Just joking, of course. Hope things are going why? Well, juicy Skittles. You know my favorite kind of Skittles are sour Skittles. So, that's like one of my favorite candies. I'm not a big candy guy, but man, sour Skittles are delicious. All right, where was I here? You guys are like the kings at getting me sidetracked. I would not be able to deal with life if not for energy drinks. Yeah, I get you there. Not so much energy drinks, but some other stuff for sure. Sometimes you just need a little pick-me-up with energy, huh? Ain't that just the cold, hard truth of it? I've been starting this new thing where instead of saying truth, I say truth, like Trufe or something. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's going to catch on. It's like Yolt, you only live twice. I think that'll also become a big thing. I'm not into a carrot journey then. You know, when I was younger, I actually really, really liked carrot cake. That was like one of my favorite things. And I look at it now and I'm like, why did I think carrot cake was delicious? It's a weird thing to think is delicious, don't you think? Oh, there was something I was going to check. And what was it? Oh, come on now. There we go. Man, I don't know if you guys heard me just whining about this earlier, but getting the stream set up was kind of a hassle for me. It was kind of an annoying thing. But now I think I'm starting to see, like, how it's working. Let me see. But even now, I can't, like, type in the chat. This is gross. This isn't how it was when I used to stream. Everything's, like, a different layout now, and I feel like an old man. I feel like I'm like, oh, I can't understand. That's my impression of old men, I guess. Hey, yo. Hello. Hello. Ooh, UWU. I live off Monster Energy. My collection is growing. I think that Monster Energy is the one that tastes the least bad out of them all. Maybe like NOS. Like a green apple NOS, maybe, huh? But sometimes they're just gross. So, caffeine often causes people with problems with anxiety further anxiety. I know it does me. I totally get that because if I have too much caffeine, my leg just starts bouncing like crazy. And I can't stop it. It's kind of easy to get sidetracked. It's too easy to get sidetracked, you guys. I thought I'd be a little bit farther along than I was even so far. I'm not smoking, not drinking alcohol, eating meat only 2 times a week, exercising regularly, and my aunt is still telling me how quick I'm going to die if I drink energy drinks. Yeah, well, that's because, don't you know how bad energy drinks are for you? Don't you understand what it's doing to your body? Don't you understand that it's not a salad in a can, you guys? Energy drinks? Because if you don't, then I guess you're just dumb or something. I don't know. What even is the argument of that? But that is like one of those things that whenever someone in a room opens an energy drink, if there's other people in the room, one person will say that, guaranteed. It's like there's 3 things that are true in the world. Grass is green, the sky is blue, and if someone opens an energy drink, someone else will say, oh my god, do you know how bad those are for you? Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm not super health conscious, obviously, about my current drink choice if I'm choosing this. It's not like I saw this next to a vegetable smoothie and I was like, they both could probably give me the same health benefits. No, I made a very clear and conscious decision. Don't you hate when people gulp? It's unnecessary. I just tried to drink kind of silently there. That's how I normally would. But imagine if I was like, oh, that was a bad gulp. Here. I think I can probably gulp better with nothing. Ready? Oh, I'm like a frog. Hide your flies. How stupid, right? What am I missing here? Yeah, sour Skittles are great, dude. They're like one of my favorites. Actually, guys, bear with me. I'll be right back. I was carrying the bag upside down. That could have been bad. Now you guys know I'm not a poser, you see. Imagine that. Monster Energy drink and sour Skittles. Ooh. My heart's gonna explode. Alright. Let's see. Where were we? You going to pass gas on stream too? Man, I'd love it. Talking to you guys makes me gassy, so that makes sense. I've had Rockstar, Sophia. If you've had Rockstar, I tried one of my friends' mixed drink with it, and it was hella sweet. Yeah, it is really sweet. Kind of gross. Definitely, those are great as like a mixer kind of a thing, I guess. But, yeah, it is a little too sweet. I agree. Kind of grossly so. I wish I had the ability to pass gas on command. Then I would pass gas on stream. Pass gas. 1 S in gas next time. Yeah, when they change UIs, don't they understand that us old-timers don't understand when you change where the buttons are and stuff? Oh. I miss carbonation. Can't have it. Just messes me up. That would suck. That's like people who live their whole life and then they're like 35 and they get a gluten allergy. That would suck, dude. You just can't have bread anymore? That's your life then? That's what's going on? That's like a... There are like real medical issues that are not as bad as having like an allergy to a type of food. IMHO. That means in my humble opinion, I learned. So I've been using that a lot. Pickled beets. Never had them. You know what I have had though? Sorry, excuse me for burping. Is pickles. I have a chicken in my leg. I like that. It doesn't really... It seems like something a kid would say. I have a chicken in my leg. When they're like bouncing their leg. Gummy bear juice with no real effect, at least for me. Yeah, liquid candy is what I've heard it described as. Even in live chat reminder, I've been on top chat this entire time. I do live chat. Yeah. That is, dude, that's a great. Thank you, Tifa. I think people should flip to live chat, and I think live chat should be the default as well. And what I'm talking about here is you can organize your chat in the stream based on top chat or live chat, and top chat will prioritize it based on thumbs ups, I believe. And if you're watching, you should give the video a thumbs up, because if you don't, you're a bad person that probably drinks energy drinks because you don't care about your health. But you can do it to live chat, and that's what I like to switch to. And I hate when I forget, because then I miss what you guys are saying, and you guys crack me up. Lime Rockstar. I've never had that, but that sounds like it could be good. I like sour, I think. I'm not a big sweet candy guy. I like sour, though. Really good. Ouch, that hurt my throat just seeing that. Yeah, dude, I got a gift. I've been able to do that ever since I was young. Probably isn't great. You're not burping or farting, then wiping the ears from your eyes. You're not doing this whole stream right. These are like Chantal Marie jokes, right? That's just, I shouldn't even. I should just rein it in a little. Hey, Juicy. Thank you. Nice statue in the back. Thank you. It's Caesar. It's Julius Caesar. Caesar, I think, is how it would have been pronounced historically, is my understanding. I could be totally off on that. He's an interesting guy, though. He's got like some fun quotes, like Alia Iacta Est, right? The die is cast. Man, that's maybe one of his best. He kind of, that just means like commit to whatever you're doing, man. Throw the dice, and then once the dice are out of your hands, it's out of your hands. You know, that's kind of a beautiful little message. I don't know. I can't not very good at winking anymore. I lost it. I lost my muscle memory. All right. Or talking about every item of food you ate today and your cat's health. Yeah, that's what I was not really... When I've been watching the Chantel stuff, man, I have not a ton of attention span for that, because what are we talking about? All we talk about is, yeah, the food that she eats, her cats, and then just how bummed she is. It's those three things, and it's just a bummer to watch it, because, like, okay, so that's your personality, huh? What you put in your gullet and then what you pet, that's your personality, the things you touch and what you eat? No, it's... Can you have some, like, thoughts about things? I want to hear what she, like, thinks about the world and what she thinks about just, I don't know, stuff in general. I think that kind of stuff is fascinating. I don't like when people make their identity their pet, and I don't... I guess the food thing's new, but I don't like when people do, like, make their identity singular things, and I guess it's really hard not to do that. I'm sure all of us, including myself, fall into that. I know, even me. But man, that's not fun, dude. Be an individual and live a little and have like a couple of different interests and hobbies. Just do stuff. so that you have something interesting to talk about that's not your cats. Oh my god, you guys. Pets are fine. I love pets. The dogs that I've been involved with in my life, I love them to death, and I'll talk to them in baby voices. But, like, when I'm at work, let's say, and my coworker keeps showing me pictures of their dog, I can't help but think, listen, dude, guy or gal, I'm not super interested in your pets. It's kind of like a dream. If I'm not in your dream, I don't really want to hear about it. And in the same way, if I'm not in your pet, then I don't want to hear about it. That was a joke. But no, if I've never met your pet, and I haven't spent more than like 30 minutes with your pet, I am just so uninterested to hear about it, because I can't imagine what you're doing. It's like when people do an impression of somebody, and it's someone that you've never seen before or never heard of before, and you're like, okay, I don't really get it because I don't know who you're doing the impression of. How's that for a tangent? The guarana and B vitamins, the guana and B vitamins and energy drinks have a taste I don't like. Yeah, I imagine it's like the taurine that they always say is in there. That's all I always see on the top of the can. It tastes gross. Yeah, no one's drinking it for the flavor, I don't think. Jolly Ranchers are delicious, I would say. Looks like someone's going to be up all night. Psh. What you don't realize is that I could be anywhere. Maybe this is my morning. Oh, how crazy would that be? Your channel has grown so much since I first subbed. Yeah, Sydney, it has. Thank you. Yeah, but Sydney, even though the channel's grown since you first subbed, I'm still here for you, though. I still remember that you were number 63, you know? What if I was right in that you were number 63? Could have been. Could have not been. Could have been number whatever. What do we got here? Juicy Skittles says, there are over 20 people watching. Hit the thumbs up, everyone. Smile with a blushing smile. Oh, sometimes it kicks me up back in the chat. I need to scroll down and see what you guys are saying now. You study history? I really enjoy history. I think it's a very interesting topic. And I think that when people talk about history, they talk about it for the wrong... This is totally my opinion. But I think that history is talked about kind of in the wrong way. And history can be super lame if you're just looking at it as like numbers. But you have to think about them as people, and really they're the same people. So when I read something historical, what really gets me excited about it is I like to imagine like these are the same people that live today, but if we were just transplanted there. Like if you were born in, I don't know, 1583, you would have been like the people of 1583. It's not like they were like a different species and that they thought different. They had the same feelings and emotions and thoughts basically as us. And that's kind of crazy to think, you know? It's almost like looking at an alternate dimension of what you could have done or what you could have been in that world. And that's fascinating. And to see, like, how there are things that have happened historically that are still going on today. Like, for example, one of Caesar's titles, if there are any history experts out there, feel free to correct me on this, but my understanding is that one of Caesar's major titles as he was coming up in the Roman Republic was he became the Pontifex Maximus, which is the chief speaker. Maximus, chief, Pontifex, speaking. And he became the chief speaker of Rome. And that's kind of like their religious speaker. That's like head shaman, I guess, is what that might be to help grasp that. Now, here's the thing. That position still exists today in the Vatican, and it's the Pope. And it's kind of crazy to think that, like, Caesar held a position that the popes hold today. They are the Pontifex Maximus. They're what do they call him? The pontiff. Sometimes they'll say, oh, the pontiff went and did this, the Catholic Pope. And that was a position that Caesar held, man. Of course, that was before Christianity, but, like, all that groundwork was laid then, and these institutions have been along forever. Enough about stuff that I'm interested in, though. We should probably focus on the chat so you guys aren't bored out of your minds. Ooh. All right, where is this? Right? 32 and dread something like that happening. I love bread. Dude, if I had a gluten allergy, I would be, like, really bummed about that. No more gravy? No more bread? No more pasta? Come on, no more pizza, you know? Chantel, wink. You know that 4 small pizzas only equals 1 large pizza? So in a way, it's like if you can eat 4 pizzas and then it's only 1 pizza. So I think she's off the hook. I have no idea what's going on, but okay. Mixing cookies. Schnapps with the flavored. I call it schnapps. My friend is gluten intolerant and ended up honeymooning in Italy. She was so unhappy to watch her wife eat pasta and pizza. I love to laugh at her misery. Yeah, it's funny to laugh at her misery, but that sucks. That's a bummer. It really should be the default. Yeah, that's agreed. The chat should be live, not top. I agree. I wonder if that's something that I can set. Is that something that I can set for you? I doubt it, probably, because I know that somewhere... Maybe that is something that I can set, because I know that I think when you publish a video on YouTube, I can choose how the comments are organized, whether it's live or top comment, or whether it's most recent or top comment. So maybe that's my bad. I'll look into that for the future. So that I'm probably like yelling at YouTube for something that totally they give me the control to do. No statue for the favorite. Yep, that's Caesar. We are speaking on the amazingly delicious bad things for us. Oh my goodness. I had a greasy burger today, and it was very good. I went to the Mall of America recently. It was pretty cool. Didn't really get a super opportunity to do anything. I didn't even really want to go, which is kind of like, you know, lame. It's kind of a hassle. Let's see. Make-believe stories from back in her hoe days, too. Come on. I don't want to hear about that, lady. Actually, maybe I do. It's just the shock value of it all. Smelly Cat. You know what I like about you, Smelly Cat? Your icon hasn't changed, I don't think. It's still Ethan from H3H3 with that hat on in the Foompa. That really is their personality. Something at 14, maybe? Yeah, maybe, but there's a lot of adults that are like that, and it's just easy, I guess. I don't know. To have a personality based on one thing is what I'm talking about. I'm doomed. My identity is just mom. My fur babies and human babies are all I live for. This is where I'll make an exception. If your kids are your identity, I think that's totally fine. Because in a weird way, it's like your kids are like mini yous. So that is kind of a cool thing. I don't know. I think kids are fine to make part of your identity. Especially because how you rear your kid is kind of important. And if you're going to focus and pour all your love into your kid and all your focus into your kid, I don't know. That doesn't make you a bad person to me, in my opinion. Not much because your brain's not natured well. Probably has something to do with the food that you're putting in your mouth. Everything's connected to the old brain and the body. I'm doomed. She likes to poop outside. I saw that. What? I like to poop outside. That's such a weird, such a weird thing. Even if I like had a little place that was comfortable to poop outside, I don't think I'd prefer that. I'd think maybe I prefer peeing. That could be fine. I talk about my dog a lot, especially since he consumes so much of my time, but not to people who are not interested in about it. That's a great point, Andy Ward, but here's the catch for you. How do you know they're not interested? When you talk to someone about your dog, how do you know that they're interested or uninterested? How do you know they're not just being polite? Because it would be kind of rude to be like, listen, dude, I don't want to hear about your effing dog, okay? You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch out. She is what she's eating. Absolutely. You are what you eat. That's what people always call me, turd. Let's see. You bastard. Got a split in like 10, Elizabeth Rickard says. Elizabeth, we already talked about your tweet, which, by the way, made me LOL. Oh, man. I love that you guys are little pals in here. There are lots of flour made from other grains and vegetables. Yeah, I've had vegetable spaghetti noodles, and I've had grain spaghetti noodles. And I never get vegetable spaghetti noodles, and I always get grain spaghetti noodles, okay? And that's for a reason. It's because it tastes better. You know, they make sugar-free drinks, too, like sugar-free sodas, and those are also gross. So there's a reason that they're using grain and sugar in the first place is because they work and they're awesome. Don't be throwing those substitutes at me. Although, speaking of substitutes, I've had that Impossible Burger from Burger King, and I don't know what the efficacy of it is, or like whether it's like a super ethically great thing, this burger, or like if it's like bad for you or anything, or if it's any better for you. But I thought it was an okay taste, and if they can make food taste the same and it's a plant, I'd be down to clown with that. My favorite would be if they could do bone-in wings that are like, yeah, you can't tell the difference of. That would be awesome. I'd be so in. Where's Top themselves? I have a gluten sensitivity, and there are some good pizza crust subs out there. Pizza you could get away with, I think, as a gluten-free deal. I was always more interested in history of those regular or normal people like me today, not kings, for example. What was their life like? What did they do for fun? Yeah, absolutely. And you got to think, like, even from the history that we read, we don't even super know. Like, if people were studying, if people, let's say in 500 years, people are reading about what we do today, they could, like, pick up, I think I've heard it put it to this way. If in the thousands of years they looked back on us and they saw the Statue of Liberty, they'd be like, oh, these people probably worshipped fire because she's holding a torch up high, and maybe they worshipped the sun because she was wearing a crown with like sun spikes on it, and they must have valued women or like copper as well or something. Like copper was a valuable resource to them because that's what it was built out of. But in reality, it's a statue that symbolizes liberty and freedom, like some pretty abstract concepts. So it's hard to know. Let's see. Oh yeah, Gaius, absolutely. Let's see. I was always interested in history. I really don't think it's on your end because we can all choose which to see. I don't know, though. Could be wrong. That's a great point, and I think Elizabeth said it's not on my end either. That makes me feel better. Whew. The comment thing. I heard ALR was going to be a surprise guest on your Dr. Yeastervark show. You know, that would be crazy, but I guess that would be cool because she'd be a surprise even to me to have on the show. That'd be great, huh? Could you imagine? I would love to have ALR on. I would be like... I wouldn't be like a dick. I wouldn't try to be mean. I would try to be like, let's just like talk. I think what I would ask her, I haven't really come up with questions, but if ALR was here and I was like having a little podcast conversation with her, I would just want to know like how her brain thinks and like how she walks through and makes decisions step by step. That's what I would be really interested to know there. And I would be really interested to know like what are like three types of comments that you really don't like, and what are the three that you really do like? Things like that. Internalized oppression face. That's what it is. I wonder what the bakers, waitresses, plumbers, city workers, and what growing up was like. Absolutely. Do I watch Hoarders? No, I don't. I don't watch too much TV. Yay, it's been forever since you've done a live stream. It really has. It really has. Probably 2019. Let's see. I start cleaning everything after I watch Hoarders. Yeah, I mean, I've seen clips, and it's definitely, like, some people, I don't think, though, they realize how bad it is, the people who hoard. I don't think that, like, they understand that it's hoarding. I don't think that they think of it as hoarding. That's, of course, the problem, right? This is my opinion on it. I don't think that they understand that it's hoarding, and I think it's like that thing where, you know how they say you could boil a frog? Like if you just put a frog in boiling water, it'll be in pain. But if you take a frog and put it in like room temperature water and then slowly turn up the heat, the frog will boil in there eventually, but it won't realize it's boiling because it's cold-blooded or something, and it'll adjust to the temperature. So I think that it just starts out and they just have a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and then all of a sudden they walk into their house or they're looking around and they're like, oh my gosh, I have a problem and I didn't even realize it because now there's all this junk here and I don't even know how it all accumulated like this, but over time it just did, and I just made little steps. It was a little trash here, a little trash there, and all of a sudden there's a whole thing full of trash. I think you can read people. If they really aren't interested, you can tell. Or, let me pose this to you, Cat Whisperer. You can't tell the ones that you can't tell, you know? Like, how can you know what you don't know? So let me compare it to this. You think that you can tell when people are interested or not, but maybe it's kind of like when people complain about CGI in movies, and they say, man, CGI in movies looks horrible. It always looks so bad. And it's like, okay, does CGI look bad? Or are you just noticing the bad CGI, and the rest of the CGI is so good you don't even notice it? Boom. You know? Like, maybe you're like, I can tell when people are interested and uninterested in what I'm saying, but maybe you're so bad at actually telling that you don't even realize that you can't tell. Whew, Dunning-Kruger or something, that's a thing. Not you personally, just this theoretical person that we're talking about. How you rear your kid is kinda important. That's me, alright. Yikes. Thoughts on the vegan teacher? I don't, I guess, super get into the whole, you know, speaking of people who make identities their whole thing, I don't like when people make their identity what they eat either. I don't like people who are like it's cool to be a vegetarian and it's cool to be a vegan if that's your choice, but I don't like it when people like base their entire identity around being a vegan. I think that that's wrong, and I think that's boring. And I'm like, okay, so now I know you're a vegan, and now I know everything about you, and I'm not interested in having a conversation with you because I'm not learning anything from you. So what are we talking about? I already know how you feel about all this stuff. That's what I think about that. You keep my name out your mouth, mister. She must have thousands of takeout napkins in her car. Yeah, probably, honestly. That's a good hoarding thing. High religious leader of Rome. Look at you guys telling me about Caesar and stuff and the Pope. Where's the Pope from? Chile? Is that a thing? Do I watch 600 Pound Life? No, I don't. I probably should. That'd be a fun show, I think. Dude, you guys know how I am, and you guys know how I can't keep my mouth shut if I see something that I don't like, or if I see something that I'm like, I'll sit there and watch, probably, let's say I'm watching with like my mom or my sister or something, and they'd be like, dude, can you just shut up and maybe just watch this? I'd sit there and be like, oh, come on, guys. I'd say, come on. Or I'd say, oh, honey, you shouldn't be doing that. I'd say that too, maybe. The Pope, the Bishop of Rome, and the Emperor or Kaiser, which is a phonetic takeaway from the title Caesar, which isn't that interesting? So, like, that's another thing, like they were just talking about there. We get a lot of the word king. The word king in a lot of languages is actually from Caesar's name. Not gonna lie, Corn's chicken nuggets are pretty dope. I had Chick-fil-A for the first time not too long ago. It was pretty good. I got a deluxe. I got it, and someone else took my food. They were like, hey, they said my name. Hey, here's your food. And then a dude walks up and he's like, yeah, I'm Leon. Grabs the food and walks away. And I was like, okay, maybe they actually said Leon and not my name. And I'm sitting there and my food's never coming. And I come up there and I'm like, yeah, I didn't get my food. So can we do something about this? And then I'm getting my food. And then Leon brought back the food that he had taken incorrectly and switched out his too. So like, moral of the story is, you guys, if you're going to order food from a restaurant and they're doing a system where they take a name and then say a name out loud, please double check to make sure that it's actually your name so that you don't have to make an innocent bystander like me sit there and wait extra long for my food. There's always winks in the mix. Come on now. ALR was online an hour ago. I saw that actually. That's kind of one of the reasons I decided to jump on. It's an actual mental disorder. What is? I missed that. Oh, hoarding. Hoarding is an actual mental disorder. Sure. That doesn't make it like not a negative behavior that needs to be dealt with. Sounds like we're gonna like hit them or something, but like something like if hoarding might be something that's like a mental imbalance or something, but that doesn't mean that you just hoard and that we don't try to help those people that are hoarding. Flash us your best smile. Oh, I just read the flash us part and I was getting worried. What would be my best smile? Like, are these great? I don't know. I get self-conscious about my smiles, I think. Hoarding is a pretty complex mental illness. I do not doubt that for a second. I'm sure that there's more to it than just like well, of course there is. And like what goes on in someone's head to where they don't let things go like that. Like I'm sure it's almost probably like multiple different ones too. Listen, I have no idea what I'm talking about on it. I'm not a doctor, you guys, so. My cousin is a hoarder. I helped her clean her kitchen and it took us like 3 hours. A week later, it was back to being a mess. That is too bad. It really is. Definitely a deeper problem to it, huh? Post-trauma, and because of their past, they hoard to fill a void. As for a wink, Sophia, I hope we get another one, though. Whoa, double wink. Whoa, double wink. Man, I'm tough. Oh, I'm like pretty crazy, and I'm awesome. Muscles. That's how tough I am. I got muscles. Her takeout napkins is her toilet paper. Hey, man, well, if you're gonna go poop outside, you need toilet paper, and if all you got are Chipotle napkins or whatever, then that's all you got, dude. You gotta make do. Humans are ingenious, innovative creatures, and they'll use what's available to them. And if that's napkins from McDonald's so that you can take a poop in the woods, then that's what you gotta do. Man, humans are great, aren't they? So stupid. Her take on napkins or toilet paper. Peace out, homies. Y'all stay safe out there. See you, Elizabeth. Let's see. Whisper. What about cake? Everybody likes cake. You know what? Watch this. Unpopular opinion. Cake is okay, but there are maybe like, I don't know, maybe any other food I would take over a piece of cake. Definitely I like pie more, but like cake is kind of like, I don't know, dude. You know what kind of cake I like? Where you slice out a chunk and there's no like flour or anything in there. It's just solid ice cream. That is the kind of cake that I dig. So what I'm saying is I like ice cream more than I like cake, I guess. Like, I'd rather have a hamburger than a cake, though. I'd rather have any of, like, a hot food more than a cake. Especially warm desserts. Gross. Ew. Wings for fans. I'm giving you guys all the wings. That smile makes you look like a newscaster. Hey. And back. What's something that a newscaster would say? 3 children dead off of a bridge. More about it at 7. Right? He smiles. That's awesome. Oh, let's see. Wings for fans. We got it, Mariah. Smiling like a real estate agent. Well, buy my house then. The lady who used to live near me had a secret cat hoard, and when she moved and opened up her home, many cats escaped. That's like... That could be like the opening thing for a movie. Long ago, there was a lady who used to live near me. I don't know, in a neighborhood. And she had a secret cat hoard. And everything was fine until she moved and opened up her home. And many cats escaped. ... And then it slowly fades in another line of text. This is the story of those cats. Law & Order. Bum bum. Right? Man, I could write for TV, huh? Some people tell me I have a face for radio. Get it? Oh, yes. Parfait. Parfaits, I don't super get what they are, but I think of Shrek when I think of parfaits. What kind of pie are we talking? That is the question I wanted to hear. Banana cream pie is maybe the best kind of pie that there is in the world. Coconut cream pie is up there with it. As for like your classic fruit pies, I would say apple is a classic, man, but sometimes... If apple pie is good, usually, but a good cherry... No, rhubarb is probably my favorite because I really like sour. But like a good cherry or blueberry pie is hard to beat. But they're really easy to screw up and it's really easy to make a bad one. That's my takes on pies. So, just so you know. ALR doesn't like cake. I don't like cake either, really. I like it. It's okay. I'll eat a piece. Like, if I don't like it to the point where if I was at a graduation, when I go to graduation parties, I don't get a slice of cake. And when I'm at birthday parties, people are like, oh, here's your piece of cake. And I'm like, I'm all right. Thank you, though. But if it was, like, gun to my head and I had to eat a piece of cake, yeah, I wouldn't, like, waste any time. I'd say, okay. Favorite ice cream? Ooh, yikes, guys. I have some cookie dough ice cream in the freezer. That's been pretty good right now, but it's hard. I think it changes over the time because they're all pretty great, but sometimes just like a good chocolate ice cream can hit the spot. If I had to choose one ice cream, though, that I could have for the rest of my life and no other kind, let's say, well, you know what? I got one for you. I've been to Cold Stone Creamery in the past, and they don't have this anymore, at least the one that I live by, and they used to have banana ice cream, and I thought it was the most delicious thing I had ever had in the realm of ice cream. Ever, dude. It was delicious. I only like lemon meringue. Yeah, it's maybe the worst kind of pie ever. I don't understand the demand for lemon sweets. Like, who, when you go to like a family reunion or like get-togethers, there's potlucks, or like there's things where people are just bringing stuff in for food, someone's always like, oh, I'll bring the lemon bars. Yeah, because we're all just dying for lemon bars over here. You're not going to bring in like apple crisp or something instead? You're going to bring in lemon bars? Like, I don't get that at all. Why is the first thing you think about for a newscaster is 3 children being dead? LOL. Because I think the news should only report news, not sensationalism. And 3 kids dead would be pretty crazy. Swoon. Cheesecake is gross, so just because it has cheese in the name. I don't like cheese, you guys. The only thing I'll eat cheese on at all is pizza. And I'm like picky about the amount of cheese. What do you guys think of this Skittle? Whoa! Oh, it does. I was going to say, I always thought Skittles had an S on them, but there's no S on this one, but it does. Feline Flood, the movie. That's awesome. Tres leches. 3 cheese or 3 milk. Meow. Meow. I try to cook and bake all the time. Sorry. Let me swallow the Skittle. When I am making food, I really try to cook or bake as much as I can because I feel better about it, and I bet it's healthier, and I don't know. I feel like I can make the whatever quantity I want then as well. And it's, man, is it cheaper too. You can easily spend like over $20 getting food delivered to you. And that's like one meal. Or you could spend like that same $25 at a grocery store and have food for like 4 days. I think it's a no-brainer. I don't bake though, really. I definitely cook more, I'd say. That's the way to be. I don't like cooked fruit, so no pie for me. Yeah, that is a weird idea to think about. I don't want to think about it as cooked fruit, though. That's a good way to put it. You kind of are shattering my illusion of what pie is. If you watch Crime Scene Cleaning, there was a schizo cat hoarder, and they learn her house, but you see her. What is that? Crime Scene Cleaning? That doesn't sound fun, dude. I don't want to watch people clean. These leeches is amazing, but I'm a fruit creep fan. What does that mean, Juicy Skittles? I wouldn't woefully misinterpret what you're trying to say, my friend. Or would I? Everything was fine. I've had Tres Leches cake. I think that when I had it, it was a little too milky, I'd say. Everything was fine until one of the cats chews I was its new master. If I don't feed it, it will attack and open my doors. It'll open the floodgates. Ugh. Cherry pie, dude. I'm on a diet, so I can't help talking about bad food. My brother is putting on a weight because I am living vicariously through him, LMFAO. That's pretty funny. Pie is fruit, though, so pie is actually healthy for you. So when you go to the doctors, because of the old obesity epidemic, tell them that that's what Yestervark said, so he doesn't know what he's talking about, or she doesn't know what she's talking about. Banana pudding ice cream with vanilla wafers in it is awesome. That sounds like poor man's banana cream pie. Why not just have banana cream pie? It's basically the same thing. Why settle? Worst thing I ever ate was my cousin's vegan, sugar-free dairy mint chocolate cookies that look like ginger snaps. Blech. Yeah, that sounds gross, dude. As soon as I see sugar-free on something, it makes me not want to eat it because, I don't know. If anyone were to tell me, dude, it tastes the same, I'd laugh in their face. I'd spit in their face. Don't lie to me. Just like that, I would. Chad might. I stopped watching a video of yours to watch this live stream. Side eyes. Dedication. I use those side eye emojis all of the time in my text messages, for goodness gravy's sakes. I wonder if the Skittles company stamps an S on each candy. How would they get done in a day? Well, it's easy, dude. You just have a guy with a stamp, and then when every Skittle comes off the conveyor belt, he just goes, okay, line it up. Then he sets it back down. And he grabs the next one. Okay. He's not wearing gloves, by the way, or a mask. And he goes, puts it down. That's how I'd do it if I was Skittles. F it. I'm having a donut. No fat people emoji. Kind of offended by that. Yeah. What? They don't think fat people are people too, or what? Why don't I have an emoji of fat people too, huh? What are they, bigots? How stupid. I said these leeches. Yeah. Leeches, what do you think a leech tastes like? Like a fish, maybe? You know, a leech is one of those things, maybe, though, that you'd want to eat when it doesn't have a full belly. I had to do sugar-free for a while because of keto, and sugar-free stuff actually tastes amazing when you haven't had sugar in 3 months. Ooh, that's a good point. I bet you that's what it is. I'm just spoiled by sugar, and then when you can't have anything, and then you have some sugar-free stuff, then, like, it probably tastes great. But you know what it tastes like? I don't think they really have a super sugar-free Coke. I guess maybe Diet Coke, but that's even not really the same thing. It tastes like sugar-free stuff tastes like the flat version of whatever the sugar version is. And that is just like, just have water then. I don't know. Just Gatorade. Gatorade surely has sugar in it. But even they're the same thing. They have like sugar-free Gatorades and that's gross. So. You know what really blows my mind? Looking at this energy drink, this is what it's making me think of. Because I grabbed a couple energy drinks, and one of them was a sugar-free. And I was like, why, dude? Who's the person who's like, man, I really need some energy, and I'm going to choose a really unhealthy option for energy, but I'm also sugar conscious. So I'd like an energy drink that is unhealthy for me, but also doesn't have sugar. So in a way, it is kind of healthy. What? Who is that aimed at? I don't really believe, personal opinion, I kind of inwardly roll my eyes when people drink diet sodas because I'm like, just go eat something else, dude. It's like, to me, that's like going to a salad bar and being like, oh, I'm healthy. And then they take the ranch, people who have like a salad, and they take the ranch and they go, and then put like a bunch of croutons on top. Oh, look at me. I'm doing good. I have a salad. Just eat the burger. Just eat the burger at that point. Just drink the soda if you're going to drink the half soda, I think. That's my opinion on that one. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Do I like Starbursts? They're okay. I don't think I'd ever go out of my way to buy a Starburst, but like they always seem like they're kind of around sometimes. And my favorite are the yellows. Skittles creates jobs. Solidarity, I say. Did you shave? I did. When I decide to get rid of the beard, it's because the mustache hairs, I got like burps, start to come, or hiccups. Not burps, hiccups. The mustache hairs start to come below my lips. And then I spend all day doing this. Licking the tips of my mustache hairs. Isn't that weird? That's odd, isn't it? I haven't told that many people that. You guys are like part of my... Look, come here. Gather. I gotta go this way. It's reverse. Gather. You guys are like part of my inner cabal. So now you know my secrets of my mustache. Alright, where was I here? I think the Skittles stamper is the old man from Toy Story 2 that fixes Woody up. That'd be awesome. I'd like to think that like maybe Skittles even come out as like a regular color and he like paints them and everything. Does all this little work. Hey, good to see you too on YouTube, Larry Stacy. Have you ever seen Super Size versus Super Skinny? He shows how to make soda. It's so gross. Why? Just because they pour a bunch of sugar in it? I don't care. I don't care when people show me a thing and they're like, this is how many teaspoons of sugar are in this. Okay, cool. It still tastes delicious. Make something better tasting that doesn't have that in it, please, and then we can talk. Because otherwise, I don't know. Supersize me. Worthy, full of iron, high in protein. Bugs are high in protein too. Dude. Oh, that's good. I mean, when I hear leeches, I just think of Steve, putting one on his eyeball. I know everyone that read that is picturing it. You're welcome. Oh, dude. That's like a thing that should be locked away to a part of the brain that you can't access anymore. The brain should hoard bad thoughts like that and then lock those away. Could you imagine putting a leech on your eye, dude? I wouldn't want to put a leech on my leg. It would kind of skis me on a little bit. Like, you know you're fine, but you're like, okay, get it off now. Get it off. I don't want to touch it either. I want like an expert there to get it off. How do you get them off? Do you burn them off, or is that like something that you're not supposed to do? I've heard 2 different schools of thought on that. The leeches are full of iron, high in protein. Yeah, they are. Coke Zero. Yeah, thank you, actually. Yes, Coke Zero has no sugar, and it tastes gross. I would rather have a water than a Coke Zero. Than your flat Coke knockoff. Coke's the king of sodas. You know what Coke Zero tastes like is RC Cola, and by that I mean trash. WTF, I just can't text today, LOL. is the special sugar-free drink. The sugar-free soda thing, I don't get it. I don't, just drink something else. It almost seems like they're insulting our intelligence, I think, when they do that. It's like, when they have a soda that's sugar-free or something that's like super full of sugar, and then they create a sugar-free version, I think that that's them insulting our intelligence. I feel insulted. My intelligence feels insulted. Andy, big nasty, hee hee hee. Bang also made a sugar-free Coke flavor. Yeah, it's gross. The only people that make a Coca-Cola flavor are Coca-Cola, and other places that call themselves Coke, I'm kind of like, I don't know, dude. Maybe just call yourself something else, because you're comparing yourself against a king, and you're just a little duke. Little dookie. Because you need to pick your choices in moderation. Just because you're making a bad choice doesn't mean you need to double down. That's a good point, Andy. Yeah. I genuinely agree with that. I still feel how I feel about it, though. Don't tell a Midwest person that. They need to get their ranch fix. Dude, I think ranch has put on too much stuff. Ugh. I don't want to see. That's like one that I associate with people chewing with their mouth open too, is ranch. Kind of gross. I thought about jam donuts. They're lemon. There are no words to express my disappointment at it. That sucks, dude. That's kind of what I'm talking about. You see like a bar and you're like, this looks like it could be delicious. Bite into it. Lemon flavored. Yeah, that's what every kid's been asking for, is lemon flavored sweets. What? No, dude. Why don't you, like, here's a rule. You can only make sweets based on things that you can just eat regularly because they're sweet. No one just eats a lemon, you know? But people do eat apples, and people do eat bananas and grapes. So maybe those should be the things. And oranges, so maybe those should be the things that we eat. I've heard that, which one is it? I've heard that lemons are a man-made hybrid between oranges and citronal? Citron? I don't know. That could be totally nonsense, so don't, like, take that to the bank, but I've heard that. No, he doesn't just jump sugar. He legit takes the main ingredients and pours them in. It looks nasty, lol. Yeah, I get that. But that's like, sometimes they'll show videos or something and they're like, this is how meat is processed, or this is how this is processed and that is processed. And it's like, yeah, we're animals and it's gross that's where food comes from. But that's what food is just like broken down other animals and stuff. And like, as much as it sucks and as much as it's gross that like things are factory farmed like that, at the same time 8 billion people have to eat, and you know what, people like eating so much that they also want to do it the next day and the next day. So it's kind of a tricky thing. Like, it'd be really great if all food came from like flowers and just came magically from the sky and was just like always done in a super like the most humane way possible, where things just weren't gross ever. But think about the scale of trying to feed that many people every day, 3 times a day. It's kind of mind-bending, and I don't know. I think that way smarter people than us are in charge of that, and I think that if they could just turn a lever and make it a lot more humane, they would, but it's out of their hands. Leeches remind me of Food of Beauty using our healthcare system for evil. Yeah, kind of, though. You know, that does... the obesity epidemic in America really does, not to get, like, into a political thing, but the obesity epidemic in America is a huge cost on our... not just our healthcare system either, but it's a huge cost on our healthcare system. And here's a prediction for you. I don't think it is that far away in the future to where there will be a very big political movement to try to regulate what we're allowed to eat, because they're going to justify it based on the healthcare costs. So I think it'll happen after healthcare is nationalized, and I think that will happen. I think eventually America will get universal healthcare, and then once that happens, the price tag is going to start hitting the government, and they're going to be like, holy crap. We can't do this as cheap as the Europeans, because the Europeans eat better than us, and they don't drive everywhere. They'll tend to walk more, as an example. That's like such a little thing. But I think that the obesity epidemic will put so much strain on the healthcare system that they're going to start regulating how much sugar and different things are in food. And I don't dig that part of it. You could just trim the mustache. No? Yeah, I could. I could also just, I don't know, do a lot of things that would be extra work just to do it again over and over again. Or I could just get rid of it, you know? I wish it just didn't grow. I wish I could control the length of it. Would you eat those candied scorpions? I'd try them, for sure. At least once, especially if I had like a friend to do them with and we were both there. And I'd be like, oh, dude, if you do one, I'll do one. If you do one, I'll do one. You know, one of those classic things. I've never tried cricket chips. I probably wouldn't eat a bunch of them. What kind of grosses me out is like those pork things. What are they? It's like pork. What are they? It's like, pork rinds. Those gross me out. What was this? Let's see. I summer camp. The boys used to collect leeches. Oh, dude, that's such like a kid thing to do. And I'd be like, why are you collecting leeches? Like frogs is one thing that's already kind of gross, I think. But I used to like go out with a butterfly net when I was younger and try to get tadpoles and frogs and minnows. If you can think of a fish pun, let me know. Minnow, get it? I just said that for the halibut. Let's see. A bug lollipop. I think I've seen that. It's like on the inside. Great, so then I can suck on a bug. Because eating one wasn't gross enough. Let me suck on the flavor of a bug. Nice. What about seltzer water? Yuck. Yeah, how come seltzer water isn't just like water that's fizzy? How come it just actually tastes way worse, too? What's that about? Juicy Skittles. Everyone does know you're delicious. I like sour Skittles a lot. They're yummy. You just pull the leech off. I think they used to be used in the medical field to help bring circulation to body parts that were dying / losing circulation. Yeah, I think that they were used. I think there's a lot of silly things that the medical profession used to do that they thought made sense. They probably used to exercise people thinking it was a medical solution. Lemon does taste okay. Don't take my hate for lemon too far, but I like lemon. I just don't understand how at every single get-together that's a potluck, someone is bringing in lemon bars, but nobody's bringing like apple bars. Why don't apple bars exist, you know? Like, where's the demand for all these lemon bars and lemon pies? When I go to the, you know what, this actually makes sense now that I think about it, but if I go to like some stores around here and they sell pies, it's like a third of them are lemon pies. And I'm like, why? What's the demand for this? You're telling me more people are buying lemon pies than apple pies? But now that I think about it, maybe those are just always the last ones left. Take a hint, guys. I do like it. Yeah, I like lemon Starbursts. So, guys, I need you to separate this for me. I like lemon. I just don't think that lemon should be the only sweets available or really even considered a sweet. It's such a sour thing. The only sweet available at like get-togethers and stuff like that. I don't understand how people have lemon bars at every family reunion. Maybe I'm like totally just speaking about my own experiences too, but I swear at other stuff. I've seen them. What's this? I can see that. Didn't Facebook already get into an obesity / eating disorder clinic ages ago and didn't follow then? It won't be enough, dude. It won't be voluntary. That's the thing, because if it was voluntary to end the obesity epidemic, it would have been ended. People would have already done it. So what's going to happen, this is super my prediction. At some point coming up here, the United States is going to set up national health care, and it's going to be universal or something similar-ish. And then they're going to see the cost, and then they're going to try to start passing laws regulating what you're allowed to eat. And people will push back against it, including I would push back against that. And people will respond with, oh, what? So you don't care that our healthcare system is overburdened and you don't care about these people's health? Yeah, maybe I do care about these people's health, but maybe I also believe that it's their choice as to what they put in their body. I think it's gross that like someone like Chantel Marie or ALR gets as big as they are. But I also think it's their right to choose what they're allowed to put in their own body, you know? And even if it does put a burden on our healthcare system, I think that we'd be crossing some lines when we let some people who live thousands of miles away from us, 500 to 600 old guys in a room, a couple thousand miles away from us, start picking and choosing what we are and are not allowed to put in our bodies. I think that's where we start getting crossing some lines. And I think that they'll justify it because they'll say, well, we have to lower the cost somehow, and people aren't getting healthier. And I think it's messed up. And maybe that'll never happen. That's just a prediction. That's just what I think will happen. So if that happens, though, you guys, remember this. Remember this. I also prefer no facial hair. Beards are kind of annoying, especially when you're wearing a mask. Beards suck. They itch with the mask. I don't really have that much of a problem with itchy beard, but with a mask, it's like, it's just, oh, the mask isn't here, it's here. But it just rubs. It's really lame. Pork scratchings. Ugh. Tongue taco or eyeball taco? Neither. But if I had to choose, tongue taco. I remember in high school we had to dissect stuff, and I was basically fine the entire time, but when we dissected cow eyes, I was like gagging. Because I think we cut into it and it like oozed. Oh, it was so gross. And you could smell it formaldehyde. Ugh, gross. Let's see here. Pork scratchings. I love lemon desserts. That is so interesting. You're maybe the only person I've ever met that actually does, but who knows? Suck a bug sounds like an insult. Suck a bug. Ugh. Nerd. Sour Skittles tear up the roof of your mouth. I don't have them tear up the roof of my mouth. I have them, they rip up my tongue though for sure. Juicy Skittles. Strip now! LOL, JK, just showing some love. You know I appreciate it. How come your picture of those Juicy Skittles is like a cup and not this? It should be like this. It should be me with these Skittles. Because, get it? Because I'm Juicy Skittles. Juicy Skittles. Get it? You guys probably don't get it. Your IQ probably isn't high enough. Lemon blueberry bars are pretty dope. Yeah, sure. Throw in blueberry and I'd be way more down. But I've never seen a lemon blueberry bar. I'd try it. That does sound great. Some sour and sweet mixed. That's why sour Skittles work, I think. Items often have double the fat, so they'll taste the same as the non-gluten item. Right. Isn't that kind of the real trick with a lot of this stuff? Is like even when they make a soda that's like sugar-free, it's not like they're just taking sugar out. They're switching out sugar with something else, and you have no idea what this other stuff is that you're putting in your body. And here's the weird thing, too, is nobody really knows what food is good and bad for us. To a degree. Like, here's one example. People used to really think cholesterol was fine. And then for a while, cholesterol was like a boogeyman. It was really bad to have a lot of cholesterol. And now there's a bunch of evidence that cholesterol isn't nearly as bad as we thought it is. And here's the problem is, in America alone, there's 340 million people, at least. And in other countries, there's also tens of millions of people. And people's genetics and people's, like, behaviors and things like that are all different, and these are all variables that we have to think about when we're trying to quantify how healthy things are. So as an example, if you take somebody like 20 people from America and you start doing studies on them for food, you can't really isolate the variables very well. So you start being like, okay, well, we gave all these guys eggs and we found that they had these side effects here and this problem happened here and cholesterol caused this problem. Well, maybe like cholesterol didn't cause them to have heart issues. Maybe that their family just has a history of heart issues. Or maybe the people who had heart issues all coincidentally don't exercise as much. And if we took 20 people from a different country that have different lifestyles, it wouldn't be the same. And that's like, it's super confusing, food stuff, because we don't super understand exactly what makes the body tick. And sometimes it's like it's not like we can super watch the breakdown of nutrients and how they actually interact with the body. And sometimes we see things and we don't, like, it could be something entirely different than the food that causes it, or the food could be causing something to happen that we're not even attributing to the food. And that's like why sometimes dieting programs will work very well for some people but not for other people, because even if we could nail down everything when it comes to nutrients, everybody's body is so different that it's like, okay, great, so we have all this information, but like you don't know your personal cholesterol level, as an example. So how do you take that information and do anything useful with it? That's what I think about it. So I think a lot of health information from food needs to be taken with a grain of salt, and you should be just very aware about like how it makes you feel. And just try to like connect it. And who even knows if like, what if you eat something and then you don't experience that feeling until a couple of days later as well? How do you measure that? I don't know. It's messy. Smarter people than me, I think, get it screwed up. And I'm a pretty smart guy, so. Let's see. Lemons are cheaper than apples. Okay. That's no excuse. If anything, that sounds to me like a even worse thing to say in response. Then maybe you should have made something else, because you know what's even cheaper than lemons is potatoes. Maybe you should have brought like a potato casserole, because that would have been better. I want to be at those get-togethers. LOL. All right. Yeah, I bet, Amanda. That probably would be the case. Foodie Beauty, not Facebook. FB. Oh! Oh, sure. That makes more sense. Excuse me. Apple cinnamon is very good. It's okay. When there's more apple and less cinnamon. They do what? They do that anyway with drugs. Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? For the most part. And also, I get that the government can tell us what drugs we can and can't put in our body, but I am not a fan of the argument where, like, if I say, hey, I don't think the government should tell us what we can and can't eat, or how much we should be eating, and then if your response is, well, they already do that with drugs, I think that's a lame argument. I don't think that just because they have a little law over here, that justifies that they can have complete control over all of the rest of this. Like, it's kind of like, I don't think the government should control how fast we walk. Okay? I don't think that the government should say, as a hypothetical example, I don't think people should be telling us how fast it is okay legally to walk down the street. And then someone says, well, they do it with cars. They tell us how fast we can go with cars, so how can you be against that? I get that, I guess that's like a logical progression at some point, but I don't think because they made a little law here justified by cars that all of a sudden they just have permission to just shove that kind of control over to the next thing. That's a little crazy. I think that they have to make an entirely new argument over on this other thing, or to expand that, they have to make an entirely new argument. You don't get to say, well, we already do it this way, so let's just expand that. No, it doesn't work that way, dude, because otherwise they can just make little laws and then randomly expand them in the future, and that's not the world we want to live in, and we don't want them to be in control like that. Them, the big scary they. I believe that myself and all of you know how to run your lives better than 600 old guys who live thousands of miles away in a 600 old millionaires who live thousands of miles away who work in a stuffy building for like a couple days out of the year. I don't think that they understand people's lives, and I don't think that they should be in the business of controlling little things in our lives. They can like choose how much tax we pay, but maybe what we put in our own mouths shouldn't be something that's in their purview. Let's see. Make healthy food more affordable. How? Like, what do you mean? Healthy food spoils. It costs more money to make healthy food. So how do you make it more affordable? I don't understand. Like, you can't, I don't think. Well, you can. And, I don't know, make healthy food more delicious, I think, is the real key. If they made more healthy food more delicious, I don't think the problem is that healthy food isn't affordable. I think it's that and I'm totally speaking out of my butt here because I don't know what the real answers are. But I think that the problem is that it doesn't taste as good, and I think people will a lot of times make very short-term decisions based on taste rather than healthy food. And for me personally, it's not the cost of healthy food that makes healthy food not bought as much. It's that healthy food expires a lot faster. So I would love to have a fridge full of tomatoes and lettuce and all of these different things, but I have to, like, it's such a commitment because if I buy one of those things, I have to make it that day or the next day or it's garbage. But if I buy like a can of food that's not as healthy because it has more sodium in it, I can eat that within 3 months, you know? So like, you gotta weigh it. It's I don't know how you can beat that cost there. And there's other things that aren't just like dollar costs, you know? Larry, I totally agree. The main problem is that junk food is cheaper than health food. I don't know if that is the main problem. I don't know if I agree with that. I will totally say that is a probably sizable chunk of the problem, but I don't think it's even the biggest thing. I think it is a flavor thing, and I think there's a problem with how fast they expire as well. Like, you almost have to decide what you're going to be cooking for the entire week if you want to go down that route. Yes, but if you have to pay for their bills, what then? That's exactly what I'm talking about, see? And my response to that, honestly, Lilithia, would be, well, if that's the trade-off, then I don't think we should have to pay for their bills, and I think that we should keep our broken healthcare system instead of of them controlling what we are able to eat and how much food we can have. I don't want to be treated like a kid. I'm sorry. I don't want to be infantilized. I don't need to be told like a toddler what I'm allowed to eat. Maybe some people need that. I don't need that, and I don't think the majority of us need that. And I think that if we want to be obese, that's our choice, man. And if they are going to make healthcare universal, they should take that into account in the beginning and say, okay, fine, then we're going to have to just eat that as a cost. We're just going to have to deal with the cost. That's how it's going to be. You don't get to force universal healthcare on everybody and then control what they eat using universal healthcare as a justification, because that's not what people signed up for. People signed up for healthcare to be paid for. They didn't sign up for you to control the healthcare. You know? That's my honest thoughts on that. And if the choice is they get to choose specifically what we are and are not allowed to eat and how much we're allowed to eat every day and etc. to like an extreme degree, but healthcare is free, or healthcare is the same way it is right now, but we get to choose how we eat, I'd rather choose how we eat. That's my personal choice and the personal stance on that matter. Let's say, yeah, it's 2 for $5 Whoppers at Burger King. Yeah, I don't know, and a bag of potatoes plus a head of lettuce plus a bag of onions is like $5, and that's way more food. But you have to prepare it all, and it's gonna go bad way faster. That's like, it doesn't, like, there's other trade-offs. I don't think healthy food is crazy expensive. It's more expensive, definitely, but I don't think it's like degrees more expensive, except for it is if you factor in how fast it expires, and that's why it's more expensive, is because they need to it needs to get off the shelf. Let's see. $6 for a pound of lettuce in your local store? Okay, maybe I'm totally like off base on this. I'm just going off prices of the stuff that I see. Not even close to that where I'm at. Let's see. I had the Impossible Whopper. I thought it was okay. Yeah, that formaldehyde smell is gross. Yeah, exactly, Lithia. If everyone is paying for everyone's healthcare and the obese ones are taking the most amount, are costing the system a lot of money, the discussion about healthier options will get louder. And I'm totally on board with the discussion for healthier options getting louder. I don't think that's going to be there should be a justification for them to force that through with law. I think that if we're going to make everyone eat healthier, it shouldn't be forced through by law. It should be a natural change that happens. And if it doesn't happen, then that's the people's choice. Like, I get that they're destroying their lives, people who just eat themselves to be that big. But they're adults. And even though we think that we know better, that is not our place to go in there and tell people what they can't eat and what they can't put in their own body. If they want to eat themselves to that state, they're allowed to do that, man. And you don't get to take control of their life and dominate their life. It is kind of like a control freaky kind of a thing to do, to think that you're able to do that. You don't get to treat them like a kid and remove their self-agency because you think you can run their life better than they can run their life. I just don't think that that's the case. Not that that's what you're claiming. Just to the hypothetical person that would disagree with that. Monk fruit sugar is good. I don't know if I've ever had that. I worked at Burger King for like 3 weeks in January and saw them make the Impossible Burger with the other burgers in IDK, but I thought that defeats the purpose. Maybe not. I don't, like, it's what's in it, right? I get that it would still be greasy or something. Well, they flame grill it, so maybe it wouldn't, but I get you, though. It is kind of lame, especially if I was a vegetarian. I think that was pretty lame. Biology teacher, speaking facts. Dissecting cow eyes was so cool. I dissected a sheep brain. Whoa, dude. Yeah, cow eyes grossed me out, though. Let's see. I'm in full blankie mode, enjoying the vibe in this live chat. Dude, I have like I call this my polio blanket. When I sit down at the computer, I put it over my legs. Because that's like what FDR did or something. Just cracked a White Claw. Nice. Everyone is different. I know people who eat mostly veggies and little protein. Oh, I lost that. Where did it go? There it is. Little protein, and they are healthy. My body needs a high level of protein just to function normally. To each their own. Exactly. We don't really understand nutrition as like a species or as a country and as a society. And because of that, we shouldn't be too quick to shove things on people's throats. What are we talking about? Just about anything. Do I play Scribble.io? Years ago, maybe. That seems like an old game. Thank you, Snowball. I agree, we don't need the government helicopter parenting the whole country. That on top of Italians, most Italians in comparison to Americans on average, live longer and they smoke and drink wine. Truth, not stereotype or bias, lol. Sure, exactly. No, that's, I think, a good point. Potato salad, like every aunt at a family barbecue will bring potato salad. I like potato salad, but not by the ton. Or coronation chicken with the raisins. Yuck. Emmeline, ready for this? Potato salad is maybe one of my favorite foods in the entire world. I think it is delicious, and I would eat a tub of potato salad. If potato salad was in front of me, I would just start chowing down on it. And the fact that you brought it up actually makes me a little mad because I'm upset that I can't have potato salad. That sucks. I'm mad at you now, so I'll kick your butt, kick you right in the head, right in the nose, right in the schnoz. That's why I buy frozen pizza for some things, and with fresh, make sure I plan on eating it all. Yeah, absolutely. I think it more comes down to planning and not short-term decision-making. A lot of health thing. Most life decisions, the difference between, like, financial stability and not financial stability and being healthy and not healthy, it comes down to being able to plan out your week versus living day to day. In France, they grocery shop every week so that they always have fresh produce instead of processed food. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Maybe they actually should consider food addiction real. It isn't considered a real addiction currently by most. I don't know what the details are of that on each side, but I think my worry with a lot of things being labeled as addiction, and I think that this is a general worry for people who are on this side, is that when you start labeling things as an addiction, then people can hide behind that label and they'll use it as an excuse as to why they shouldn't stop, because they'll say, well, I'm addicted, so I guess I can't control it. And maybe that is the case, but maybe that shouldn't be the perception of it, I guess. But like I said, I don't know what the science is behind it, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm just a guy on the internet. My state has free healthcare. The problem, you have to jump through so many hoops just to get it. Yeah, and that's the thing, too. Don't replace a complicated system with a complicated system. That's just going to be really frustrating. All right, where it's illegal, or where I live, it's illegal to grow an X amount of your own produce, too, so that is fucky as well, because we pay for the seeds and we take care of them. Capitalism at its finest. Yeah, you know, I'm super against it being illegal to grow an X amount of your own produce. That's ridiculous. You should be able to grow as much plant as you want to grow, but you know what I will throw in there, though, is I don't think that's capitalism. I don't think that when the government makes rules about how much you're allowed to grow, I actually think that's the opposite of capitalism. That's state control. Capitalism is like more of a free market kind of a thing, right? Live and let live. Laissez-faire. The government is hands-off. And if the government's hands-off, then other companies can't enforce that rule on you. Unless it's like a landlord, in which case you entered into a voluntary transaction, right? I don't know. Even when healthcare is paid for, it isn't just the people being taxed out the butt versus you have to paying out of pocket. If you are low enough income, you already get free healthcare. Encourage people to stay in the lower tax bracket, allowing them to get free healthcare anyway. That's a pretty big chunk of thoughts there that I probably shouldn't get too into. Generally, I agree with that, though, Amanda Bell. Generally. With a lot of things. Bro, you made my whole summer. Nick, I remember you too, Nick Peterson, actually. A little N there. At least I think I remember you. It seems really familiar. Of course, LML, Nick Peterson. There was someone else earlier who had the Foompa hat, and I forget. Sophia, I remember. Andy, I think I remember. Let's see. Gotta say, I think we'll go for another, like, 12 minutes, let's say. Hour and 30 minutes, man. Time flies when you're just having a blast. Actually, LML's here. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer. No more than 20 minutes, but maybe 12 minutes more. I gotta say, you have a really good memory. You're behind in chat, yet you're still able to keep up with the convo and not get lost. It's really nice speaking with you. Well, thank you, Juicy Skittles. Yeah, I'm kind of a whiz. I don't want to brag, but I maybe have the best memory that you've ever seen or ever will see. So, I guess it just blows your mind. Isn't it crazy? Does it blow your mind how awesome I am and how intelligent and how smart I am? Let's see. Bro, I am so late. LML, it's always great to have you here, though. That's so nice. Some restaurant got in trouble for cooking the Impossible Burger with the normal meat. Yeah, that'd be weird if they were mixing them, because, like, if you were a vegan or a vegetarian, you wouldn't want it to touch, would you? I don't know. I shouldn't speak for them. I don't know. After seeing Amberlynn Reed literally retch after eating a fresh green bean, I realized how much sodium is actually in canned vegetables and how fried her taste buds actually are. Yeah, she needs like a taste bud reset. I've heard that. Okay, so I've heard that people, let's say that you do like a bunch of heroin or something, or anything that's super addictive, and then if you stop that thing cold turkey, your body goes into shock, right? But I've heard you can't do this in America, but in other countries you can go and they will put you into a coma for like, I don't know if it's like a day or a couple days or what, but let's say they put you in a coma. Let's say you're super addicted to heroin. You can like go to Russia. They'll put you in a coma for like 4 days and they'll administer this drug to you that makes you face your withdrawal symptoms, but you're in a coma. So at the end of that like 4 days, you wake up and you're out of that recovery stage and you're like over it. You're not addicted to it anymore because your body dealt with the withdrawal while you were asleep, you know? And I don't know if that works or what, but like maybe that's what Amberlynn Reed needs. Maybe she needs to like be put into a coma and they just need to like have brushes that just scrub her tongue with like broccoli on them. They just rub they take a thick toothbrush and they rub it on the head of broccoli, the tree part, and then they just take it on her tongue and just rub it onto her tongue too, so that her taste buds can be exposed and get used to that. And then when she comes out, one, she wasn't eating that whole time in the coma, so the weight has just dropped off, and two, she's like, I weirdly have an urge for broccoli, you know? Like her gut biome and stuff would then be like broccoli attuned. That could be genius, you guys. But yeah, I'm sure her taste buds are fried. I mean, you can't just, your body adjusts to the things that you're eating, man, and it kind of adapts to them. So you have to start making moves towards the food that you want if you're going to want to start eating those things. I used to hate onions when I was younger, and now I think onions are delicious. Not that that's even relevant. What is coronation chicken? Is it like a crowned chicken when it's a crown? Speaking of which, all that drama with the Piers Morgan and the Queen and stuff, huh? Or not the Queen, but Meghan Markle. Kind of crazy. And Amberlynn Reed doing her new program. Come on, dude. I go away for a year, you guys. Get this. So I watch this stuff, and I'm like, man, it seems like Amberlynn does is start a program, fail it, and then restart a program. I jump away, I come back, and imagine my surprise when I'm like, oh, she's starting a new diet program? What? I've been here before. Dude. 2 years ago I was here. What are we doing, man? We're walking in circles. She can't do this year after year. There's no way, dude. And like, I don't know. It's gonna catch up. And I think I put it in the end of my most recent video about her. And what I said was like, I think that maybe one of her problems is that she can't grasp that. Like she says, why do I want to lose weight? Because I want to live longer, but that's not enough. And she's right. That's not enough because I don't think she really grasps that as a reason, because I don't think that she is I'm sure that she can say that she connects it, but somewhere in her brain, there is a disconnect between like what she thinks could happen and what she's doing right now. And I don't think she believes that how she's eating is going to affect the length of her life on a subconscious level. I know that she can tell herself that, but I don't know if like deep down she believes it. Like in a weird way, I think that she believes that she'll live forever. And I don't think that she has faced her mortality. I haven't faced my mortality, I don't think. I'm maybe I'm projecting then, because that's kind of how I feel about things. It's like I don't really think of things as like, oh, this will help me live longer necessarily. Or I do think that, but I don't really give it too much heed because I'm young. And I think Amberlynn sees herself as young, and she thinks I still have a lot of time left. But like every day you inch closer and closer to the end line, and all of a sudden you're at like the 70% point, and you're like, holy crap, I don't have a ton of time left to right this ship. But the real problem with her is that the end is actually getting closer to her too. So she's getting older, and then the end is getting closer too because of the unhealthy decisions. So less and less time is there to get the ship righted, which is sad, honestly. It's kind of heartbreaking because like nobody in their heart, I don't think, really like wants anything major bad to happen to her. Like if something bad happened, people would follow it and would be interested, because it's kind of like, well, serves you right because you're kind of being a hypocrite. But I don't think anyone like says a little prayer and they're like, oh, please just have something like horrible happen to her. I don't think that happens really. Maybe some people, but I know I don't feel that way. And I think that it's really sad because I don't think that she would be doing all of this weight loss and all these programs if she didn't want to be healthy and thin. I don't think that she would do that. I don't think that she would talk about those things as much or make her whole channel about that if she didn't care. So I think that, like, if she could, she would have a healthy body. And it's really sad to see someone, like, really want something that they could get, and they just keep making the wrong decisions over and over again. It's kind of horrible. I don't know. It's a tragedy, man. It really is. Let's see. Sorry to get so real with you. Hey, I'm not the gov/history fanatic. All just med stuff. I had to point out capsules controlling pieces of pain, more organic reviews. Yeah, great point, Sophia. I didn't mean anything by it. Let's see. I'm picturing the giant broccoli toothbrush. I'm picturing like a scrub brush that you'd wash like a pig's back with or something. I don't know if that's how they wash pigs' back or if they even need to do that, but I don't know that I think about it. You haven't live streamed in a long time. Last time I was here, you were reading creepypasta, and we, the chat, were joking about your blinds being haunted. Oh, that was awesome, Gemrock. We should do that again. We should read some creepypastas. That'd be cool. All love, LOL. You know what? Chantel streams for a long time, doesn't she? 3 hours? I cannot watch an entire Chantel stream. I can't sit there and for 3 hours and watch it. It's like my brain fries when I do that, dude. I die. Oh, no, it didn't come off rude, Sophia. You're totally fine. Let's see. There's no such thing as being rude on the internet, I think. And I think, no, there is. But I think that, I had the other video about that from the Philosophy Tube thing. I think that sometimes it's really easy just to assume people are being rude or mean on the internet. But especially if you're reading it through text, it's like they could be being really nice to you, man. And you just read that in a voice that you created, you know? I love your Amberlynn videos. I love your Amberlynn comments. Thank you. It gets tougher to lose weight as you age. That's definitely true. And I feel, this is one thing where I feel very lucky because I've heard that it's harder to lose weight too if you're a girl. And so I feel very lucky that I'm a guy and I don't have to worry about that as much. Sorry, gals. Sucks to suck, I guess. Ha. I'm also glad that I don't have to, like, deliver a child. That's also another thing that sometimes I'm just like, you know, dude, while I'm at it, while I guess I'm just praying here, just thank you, dude, for not making me have to push something like that out of my body. Thank you. We've all had big number twos, right? And that's not a good feeling. So I can't imagine the other thing. Let's see. Your videos inspired me to start going to the gym at least 4 times a week. That's awesome. I think my thoughts, this is my personal theory. I know that this is at least how it works for me. When I go to the gym, I don't think of it as like, I don't think the exercise itself is what is helping me be healthier. It is healthy to exercise, but I don't think that's what helps me. I think what helps me is when I go to the gym and then I go in the morning if I go. And then for the rest of the day, if I think about eating something really unhealthy, I think to myself, yeah, but why did I go to the gym then? Like, why did you go to did you spend 2 hours doing this? Or 1.5 hours or 1 hour working out if you were just going to throw it away by putting this in your body? And that thought process is what helps me. So I burn my 200 calories at the gym, and then I eat my 800 calories less during the day. Juicy Skittles. I put you as my YouTube photo. I now wish for you to comb your hair back with your fingers and give us a wink. Comb my hair back with my fingers. Like that? So, like, should I try to be, like, sexy about it? How stupid. Oh my goodness, gravy. You guys are funny. Juicy Skittles. I like that on your picture. That's cool. We're like real pals now. I agree. I think Amberlynn, Snowball323 says, I agree. I think Amberlynn thinks she can go on and on, living in a teenage mindset, and nothing can stop her. Unfortunately, I think overcoming cancer has only bolstered that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if, like, I would call it teenage mindset, but it's definitely, like, it's an immature mindset to think, like, the consequences aren't real, and there are no consequences for me. There are consequences for thee, but not for me, is a bad mindset. Joking about the blinds being haunted. Shut up. I don't live in a haunted home, okay? I just watched Sinister 2 the other day, and it was kind of creepy. Creeped me out a little, got me the creeps. sobs fatly. Oh, man. I'm going to use that. I have like some group chats with my cousins and stuff, and when someone says something, I'm going to throw that in. The asterisk sobs fatly. That's hilarious, dude. It's been 2 years and he still hasn't fixed those blinds. You know what? I do fix them, and the thing is they get so... I open the window because I don't, like, want to live in a sauna, and I don't know if there's, like, a wind tunnel effect that happens, but they all go... whoosh. And I don't want to get my own, really, I guess. I'm like, that's like a thing that my brain doesn't register, is that I get it. I have really crappy blinds. I don't think that you guys mean anything negative by it, but I get that I have like really lame blinds. But it's like, you ever see that picture? It's like a meme where it shows just an empty room and a chair and a TV and like a PlayStation controller, and it says, guys really will have just this and they'll be happy, or something like that. I think that's generally how my place tends to look. Like, I think that, like, if people were going to come in, they'd be like, oh, maybe you should get, like, a rug here. And I'd be like, yeah, I don't know, I guess. I'd never really thought about that. I don't have, like, a decorator's mind, I don't think. Let's see. I think the Meghan Markle racist baby comment was a joke that was taken the wrong way. Like my family, we're all placing bet if the baby was going to be a ginger or not. You know what, Emmeline? I actually think that that's the case as well. And maybe this might not be, like, the popular stance, but I watched that Piers Morgan interview where he got upset and he was talking to that dude, and I thought Piers Morgan was talking sense. And I think that a lot of people are really jumping to conclusions, but even that comment that Meghan Markle says was made isn't something that she heard. It's something that Harry told her he heard, and we don't even know the context. And I don't know, dude. And not only that, we don't know even who said it. And the fact that she's going to come out there, if she's going to come out there and say that a racist thing was said, she should tell us who said the racist thing, or she should not bring it up, because isn't she kind of like hiding racists then, if that's the case? And I don't know. And also, the thing that Piers Morgan got so upset about, my understanding is that Meghan Markle made the claim that her son was going to be, or her son was disinherited from, like, the line or whatever, or can't call himself a prince because of the color of his skin. And that has been, like, debunked, I think. That she totally read that into the situation, and I think that's what Piers Morgan was upset about, is he's like, Piers Morgan basically said, well, the Queen, who had nothing to do with all of this, the Queen is the one who decides who gets titles. And so you're saying that the baby isn't getting a title because of the color of its skin, so you're saying that the Queen is not giving a title to the baby because of the color of the baby's skin, and you're saying that the Queen's racist, but the Queen had nothing to do with any of this. It was like someone else. It was like probably Prince Charles, or I don't know who. It was one of the other dudes who said it. And I think that was his biggest contention, and people were like, oh, he's defending her calling it, or he's defending them calling the baby names or something. He's defending racism. But, like, all I got from him was that we don't know the whole story, so why are we jumping to the conclusion? Kind of like, didn't that kind of happen with Bachelor? This is the first time I've ever watched Bachelor this year, and there's a lot of drama around that one too. And I think that's kind of a similar deal. I think that sometimes we jump to conclusions way faster than we should. Let's see. Plan, set things up for them. The passport thing. I started working out again. But don't hate me for that. I don't know super the whole story. I'm totally just going off of the stuff that I've seen, my perspective of it. So take it for what you will. I'm not an expert. Blinds are annoying AF. I want, like, some big red curtains. I've patented sobbing fatly. Everyone here owes me $1,000. No, LML. You have to patent it. You have, like, a trademark. Sobs fatly. Did you believe the whole Amber Lynn cancer thing? A lot of us didn't. I genuinely believed it, but here's my honest thing, is I don't really care. It's fine. I don't think that Amber Lynn having cancer is an excuse for her to hide behind that cancer. I don't think that invalidates any criticism of Amber Lynn Reid. I don't think that, like, we should make fun of her for having cancer, but I don't think that her having cancer makes her untouchable. I don't think that there's anything that somebody can do that makes them immune from criticism. Let's see. Preach, bro. Yeah, we're on a similar team. Turns me down like a loan shark. I didn't know you're streaming. Willow. I remember Willow Haven. Give me my fat money. Willow! Hey, what up, LML? OMG, I feel like it's been so long. I missed your uploads for a while there. Let's see. Oh, man. The old chat is coming back, LOL. My minions. It's like... What would that be? What's like a movie where, like, the head bad guy gets captured by the police and he's in jail, but his henchmen work tirelessly over the years to get him released, and they finally get him released, and they're like, my lord, we finally released you. And then I'm the Lord, of course, and I walk out and I'm like, you've done well, you will be rewarded justly. And we go and do villain things, we do crimes, we do like the opposite of what Scooby-Doo does, solving them. As a UK resident, if there's racist in the royal family, I say it's Prince Charles, but he married a horse, so I guess he's an odd fella. Oh, that's awesome. Good night, y'all. This little ghosty is going to bed. You're such a ghost. Do you watch 1,000 Pound Sisters? No, I don't. Someone was recently telling me to watch that one, though, and that one I think is going to be on my list. Are we going to start the blinds GoFundMe now? LOL JK, we should. Depends. What if I like have a GoFundMe to get me new blinds, and the amount of money that I'm requesting is just insanely out of proportion? Like, help, I have some bad blinds and I'd like some new blinds, and I'm asking for $50,000 so that I can replace blinds for my 2 windows. When is Amber Lynn getting a series on TLC? I don't think that should be rewarded in that way. I am just thinking of the Joker. Yeah, but does it happen with the Joker? Do they, like, save him from something? It would be, like, what would it be? I don't even super know. What it would be like is if you guys have seen that show, I think it's on Hulu, The Strain, with the vampires. It'd be like that, where they have, like, some henchmen that are helping the Master. Oh, the Master. That's what they call him. The Master. Listen, this guy, Toys R Us letters, says, just saying hello. Smiley face. Bye, Ghost. We will assume you are Amber Lynn. You know what's funny? Amber Lynn Reed. My name's Reed. Isn't that great? So in a way, it's like me and Amber Lynn are kindred spirits. I'd imagine that they could that there would be like an epic event that would happen where I'm fighting. Me and Amber Lynn are always like battling each other like 2 superheroes. But then like maybe Chantel Marie shows up and she's like even bigger villain or something. And I'm not strong enough to handle her by myself. And I'm like hanging on the edge of a cliff, but then a hand extends down and it's Amber Lynn Reed and she pulls me up. And then I'm like, this time we do it together. And she goes, that's what I was thinking. And then we go into battle and we like fight and solve crimes. Dude, me and Amber Lynn should get a show together where we solve crimes. We're like 2 detectives. We just like get into a car. She has like a special seatbelt so it can buckle. And then we go in our mystery van kind of a deal. And we have like spy glasses. Jinkies, we could say. Twinkies, we could say, actually. Hey, what happened to her dog? Is her dog's okay? I actually don't know what the deal is with her dogs. Did you change the posters, Vark? No, I didn't, but that's funny that you ask, because I have been hankering to change the posters. I want to switch out the Space Jam one, I think. Something that would match the other one, maybe. I'd be very happy with some new posters. My favorite poster, though, is the one that you guys can't see. It's the world one, and I also love my globe. This is a gift, and I'm very happy with it. I got it for Christmas. This is what I asked for. It's kind of like gold. I have another globe, too, that I got that I'm very happy with. This one's pretty modern, but the globe that I got is from, like, 1940 or something. Or no, it's not 1940, but it's, or maybe it's 1920. It's, like, right after World War I, I think. So the European countries still have all of their colonial Africa territory, but the Soviet Union also exists. And I think Korea is one country. It's really cool, I think. Or no, maybe Korea's owned by Japan. It's really interesting because it's like looking at the world from an entirely different thing. Could you imagine being the dudes who make globes and it's like 1938 and you make a globe and then 1939 rolls around and Germany invades Poland and you're like, dang it, we gotta make a new globe. And then you make a new globe and the next year the map's different again. For like 5 years the map just keeps changing and you're like, come on. 50K, let's see. I think the Joker does in Dark Knight. I've seen Dark Knight. I actually just watched that recently. Check out Big Ed, a 90 Day Fiance. He even made a YouTube channel. 90 Day Fiance. No kidding. I'm doing evil things. Serving Toys R Us. Eleganza. Big Ed walks like Pooh Bear. I think I know who that is. A crossover of epic proportions. Marvel is quaking. Ooh, that's what the movie would be called. Quaking. But like, it's kind of like a play on word with cake, I think. That's the idea. Bro, that story made me so happy. I'll personally put the new blinds as curtains for hourly plus labor. Just for you. Yeah, sure. If by labor you mean free. Ooh. Man, let's see. No, leave the epic Space Jam poster. Why? You guys like Space Jam? You guys like basketball movies? Yeah, they're great, aren't they? I don't know. It's okay. I like Space Jam. It was like a movie from when I was a kid. That was kind of a sweet one. I don't even super dig... Fallout is okay, and I play video games occasionally, and Fallout was an okay video game. But, I don't as much dig that poster. I just really like the Coca-Cola aesthetic, and if I had a Coca-Cola poster, I'd be happier with that. But I don't want it to just say Coca-Cola. Look at my pillows, though. Look at that. It's a, subliminal message so that you subscribe. Let's see. All right, let's do 6 more minutes. We'll call her good. So, in your superhero movie, is Becky like Alfred in Batman? Becky, you'd think, would be more like, what would it be? Robin, maybe? Although, I do like the idea of her being Alfred, and, like, she's got little gadgets for Amberlynn. She's like, Amberlynn goes down into her amber cave, and then she's like, what have you got for me today, Beckles? And Becky goes, oh, yes, Amber. We've got a new invention of mine. It's a planner, and what you can do is plan out things that you'll never do, but it also dispenses Cheese Whiz. And that'll come in handy at some point, like, we'll be being held down by Chantel. Me and Amberlynn will be being held down by Chantel, and then Amberlynn will be like, wait, don't you want to see my planner? And then she'll put the planner in her face and dispense Cheese Whiz right in her eye, and it'll be a payoff, you know? That's a thing in movies. Oh, could you guys imagine? That'd be sweet. I think at some point, a show with you and Amberlynn, Little and Large. A Little Large. What would it be called? I don't know. Whoa, Sophia, save some for us. Let's see. When the new Space Jam comes out. Ooh, I could have one for every Space Jam that comes out. If I had a poster for every Space Jam, I'd have 2 posters. I lulled at the Planet Gadget. Yeah, you did. Gadgets for Berlin goes down. Oh my gosh. How ridiculous, am I right? How painfully silly. Kenzie Smith, just because you're the MVP. No, Kenzie Smith, people like you are the MVP. Without people like you, this world wouldn't spin. Don't you understand that? Don't you understand that the world, like this globe, is spinning, and what you are is this piece right here that holds it. The axis, one might call. In fact, you're a very powerful axis. I think we should call you the Axis Powers. Get it? You guys gotta have a big IQ for that one. Not a huge IQ, but something of an IQ. I think that you guys do get the joke. I have enough faith in you for that, but if any of yous don't get that joke, Google Axis Powers. Let's see. It's Austin Powers' brother, in case you were curious. So, his less funny brother, a little more serious brother that did horrible things. I'm dying from Alki or Beckfred. Beckfred, dude. Nice. Beckfred. That'd be a good name for that, dude. Yeah, canned cheese is nasty. That's kind of why I went that went that route. I don't know what else would be like a cool invention, because you know, like Batman gets like the things where they're on his arm and he like shoots them out. He gets like a batarang, but I don't know. I guess that's what boomerangs sound like to me. I feel attacked in the best way. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they were the baddies in World War II. That's for sure. Let's see. Well, good and bad is a point of view. Yeah, except for you guys did some actually pretty objectively bad things. Like, yikes. What else would be like a cool invention? Something sweet, right? I can't. I'm trying to get away from the same idea, which would just be like food dispensing items and planners. That's the problem with these. With when they make their entire identity, their what they eat and their pets, is that there's not really any other things I know about them to like give them cool invention ideas. Like with me, you could give me badass glasses because I'm a badass, or you could give me like a super smart hat because I'm super smart. You know what I mean? So like it's easy for me, but for them it's tricky. Well, and you know how she'd get around? She'd get around on her amber cycle, because that's always what she's doing, is restarting the cycle of what she's up to. And there'd be like diet plans. I don't know. This is tricky. I'm running out of them. I'm seeing a lot of old Chad Army coming up. There you are. The old men coming back from the fields. Batman is not a superhero. Fight me, LOL. Yeah. He doesn't really have powers aside from being a billionaire, does he? It's kind of silly, isn't that the whole thing? Putting Batman and superhero together to fight each other. But at the same time, I think that people who get a little too deep into debating superhero stuff, I think is kind of lame. To each their own, but we are getting stronger with the day. Tomorrow we ride. Gather your men. For 3 days we will wait at this camp. On the 4th we ride. Gods, I was strong then. Remember when that guy says that in Game of Thrones? The king. It's so great, and some new faces too. We are now friends, lol. Batman is a rich detective with awesome gadgets at his disposal. It's weird to dress like a bat, though, right? The Batmobile could be the Walmart cart. Oh, that'd be sick. I would ride in the basket, too, with my little legs out. Yark, I feel like you'd drive a cheese wheel. I don't like cheese. Maybe that's, like... But that's, like, my secret superhero backstory, is that, like, when I was young, my parents died, and it was because I didn't stop a cheese wheel from rolling over, a giant cheese wheel from rolling over and crushing them. And so now I drive a cheese wheel car to remind myself every day that inaction costs lives. Something like that could be real cool, huh? Man, we're look at us. Aren't we so smart? Just come up with this stuff off the top of our head. You know, I was trying to edit a video this whole time, and you guys totally got me distracted. Pointing out a guy behind Judy Greer in the Halloween Kills. Teach up Instagram stories. Wait, what is this? Snowball, Vark, by the way, you epically trolled me for pointing out a hot guy behind Judy Greer in the Halloween Kills teaser on my Instagram story, so I have endless respect for you. always happy to not disappoint. We never came up with the female Chad name. Chelly? Like Kelly Chad? Right? I don't know. Well, that's something I need to draw now. A true memer never sleeps. God's work. You're doing God's work. I've been working on this new dance move. I got it from my aunt. What do you guys think? The trick is the head goes back and forth, and the hand stays in the same place. How sick is that? I actually kind of like that. Yeah, I only like cheese on pizza. It's the only thing I'll eat it on. Yesterday, rocking a hoodie and in the basket as they pass the moon in full eclipse. Roll credits. It's like, I can't really do it with my headphones, but I got this hoodie right here. But it's like, what's that? E.T.? Is that what you're memeing? Look at what this is doing to my hair. How gross. What if I told you guys this was a weave, a wig or something, and I just pulled it off and I was just bald? How cool would that be? Would you be impressed? Sweet moves, buddy. Yeah, me too. Like, why don't you like cheese? Is it the taste, the texture? I honestly am not sure. I don't think it's a taste. I think it's a thought thing. And my theory is that my hypothesis is that when I was young. I think I remember eating cheese when I was like young. It's maybe one of my first memories. So that makes me think that like, I wonder if I ate too much one time of just like straight cheese and I just threw up from it. And you know how when you do that, it makes it like if the first thing you drink for alcohol is vodka and you throw up from it, you'll never want to have vodka. And I think it's that. I think I have an aversion to it because at a young age I ate too much and I threw up. That's my guess. No idea. But like you think living in the Midwest, I don't walk around every day and whenever I'm ordering my food with no cheese, you don't think I think to myself, man, why don't I like this stuff? I think about it all the time. We shall always take over the chat. I love how you type, Gemrock. Lamely. Sobs fatly. Is that what it was earlier? Oh my gosh. That is friggin' hilarious. We know it's not the process of which it's made. Yeah, I don't care about the process of how things are made for the most part. Out of sight, out of mind. It's like the saying is, you don't want to see how sausage is made, and I think that's true. If it tastes good, that's great, dude. Don't show me how sausage is made, because I think that if we could really see how a lot of things are made, we wouldn't be very happy with it, what we're putting in our bodies. We'd be like, ooh, that's kind of gross. It's like when they talk about how things that are blue raspberry flavored are made from beaver anus. That's how they get the flavor for that, I've heard. And it's like, nice, dude. You know what is weird is I could have went my entire life without you telling me that. Now, every time I eat something that's blue raspberry, I think of that. So, thanks, I guess, for that. There's a lot of things like that. His superhero signal is his glasses and a Swiss cheese wheel. The Swiss cheese wheel is the light circle. I wish Chantel would have this type of experience low-key. What kind of experience? Sweet moves, buddy. I don't know. The dancing experience? Maybe. Coconut shrimp for me. Great on the way down, not so much the other way around. I like too many foods that are great going down, but not great coming out. Hot wings is like maybe my favorite food is hot wings, like buffalo wings, and celery and ranch is my favorite food, I think, if I had to say. It wouldn't be my last meal if I was on death row, but it's my favorite food, I think. And, man, if the hotter the wings, though, the worse it comes out. A good greasy burger, but same deal there. Chicken is delicious, though. Fried chicken is maybe one of the most delicious foods ever. I had some KFC the other day, and I was pretty happy with that. That's one that I don't want to know the process of, the KFC thing. I work at Domino's. I can never order a takeaway again. Yeah, I don't like to think about that too much, too. Like, with pizza places, especially the faster the process, the more I worry. Because, like, you know how easy it is, dude, for someone just to go to the bathroom and not wash their hands. Or, like, just to not have gloves on when they're supposed to have gloves on. Or to, like... Dude, people are gross. Like, someone probably sneezes on your stuff, too. I just don't want to think about it. I understand. I just take it as, like, there are certain things that we should just keep in mind that can happen to food. And as long as it's within a degree of fineness, then we're golden. Although, you guys want to hear something kind of crazy. I was not a happy camper at one point. I had ordered some breakfast from Burger King. I was working in the morning, and I wanted some Burger King breakfast, and I was going to have it delivered. And so I ordered this from Burger King, and I select no cheese, and I put a bunch of comments in there, too. Please no cheese. Not even like that, you know. I say, hey, guys, please no cheese. You know, whatever. However nice, I guess you can take that. So I get the food, and it's covered in cheese. And I'm like, what the heck, guys? And it would be one thing if it's like not a melted piece of cheese. But it's all melted on there, so you can't just pull it off. So anyways, I call Burger King, and I say, hey, dude, it's all good. Just mistakes happen. I totally get it. But, you know, I still need breakfast. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place another order. And just, like, if you could be real solid, if just, like, we just double check, just to make sure it doesn't have cheese on it. Because, I get it. Mistakes happen, like I said. But, you know, I'm just looking to get some breakfast, man. And I can't have cheese on it. And he was like, yeah, totally, man. Absolutely. So I placed another entire order for another breakfast to be delivered to me. And that one showed up without the coffee. What the heck, Burger King? That's 2 in a row, dude. So one showed up with cheese on it, and then I get my other order, And, well, one, it had a burrito in there, and I didn't order a burrito either. That was another thing, but I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to complain about having an extra burrito, I guess. But no drink, dude. What's going on here, guys? Burger King refunded me, which is nice, but kind of a hassle a little bit, guys. A little bit of a hassle. That's my Karen moment for you. Blue raz is supposed to be the anal glands of some animal. I forget. Beavers. Flats or drums? Ooh, that's a great question. I think when I like them both. When I get them, I do the I eat the flats first. Usually get both, I think. But I eat the flats first, and I save the drums for last. But some places, usually because it's a little easier to eat off the drums, and sometimes the flats can be kind of gross depending on where you go, because you kind of have to like, eat between the bones, and it's kind of sinewy. It's a little gross. So depending on the place, but I'll save the other ones for last. I always save the best for last there. Hey, yo, ML Lime, hook me up with some of the old chicken Alfredo. I'll pay you in, bad jokes, chicken Alfredo. I actually, the other day, had some chicken Alfredo, and I know what you guys are going to say. There's cheese in it. Well, that's why I was trying it, because I'm trying to overcome my cheese thing. So if there's, like, things that are, like, cheese adjacent, I kind of try to, like, experience them a little bit. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to have some Alfredo, and I'm just going to try to eat it, and blah, blah. And I was able to eat it, but I haven't been able to progress past that yet. I tried in high school, I remember. I was dating a girl in high school, and she wanted me to get over the cheese thing, so I tried eating cheese, and I remember getting a burger from McDonald's that had cheese on it, and I ate it, and I was like, okay, it's fine. And it's not a taste thing. I just can't think of it at all while I'm eating it, is what it comes down to. It's like, imagine if bugs tasted really good, and then they started putting bugs on your burger, and people are like, you're like, I don't really want to eat that, and people are like, well, it's why it does. You can't even taste it. You can't even taste the bugs. Fuck you, dude. I don't want to eat bugs. Maybe that's what it is. You ever think about that? As if those are the same thing. But yeah, that's kind of how I have to think about it. Like, you also have to, if you were in that situation, you have to just think, I'm not eating bugs. I'm not eating bugs. That's how I feel about cheese. It's like it's bugs that taste good, I guess. Egg pickle salad, dude. I love potato salad. It is delicious. Potato salad, a brat with sauerkraut on it. And, I don't know, one other thing to go with them as a side. Not even that, dude. Tell you what, just the brat with, in a bun, of course, sauerkraut, and maybe some, like, ketchup and mustard on it or something. Oh, and if there's onions and pickles and stuff, sure, the works on it. And then potato salad is, like, you can't beat that, dude. That's like that's a really good thing to eat. That's like a classic thing to eat, like, outdoor at a campfire or something as well. Maybe it's part of that. Nothing wrong with delivery with everything going on, but my stubborn butt refuses to get delivery food. Sketches me out so much. I totally get you there, though. And what really irritates me with delivery stuff is when they give you the option to leave it at the door, and I select that option every time. And some places don't even give you that option. They just say, this is going to be a contactless delivery. We're going to leave it at your door. So I remember one time, I wasn't, like, super decent, and the food shows up, and I'm like, cool, they're supposed to leave it at the door. And I look through my little peephole, and the dude's just standing there. And I'm like, okay, I watch him for a second. I'm like, maybe he's, like, doing something. He'll set it down. Nope, he's not moving. So I go, just leave it, please. Oh, okay. Sets it down, walks out. Guys, Domino's, any restaurant that has this as an option, don't have it as an option if your guys aren't going to do that, please. Because it's kind of like... It's kind of irritating, a little bit. Listen to me just complain about fast food places. Wow, that is the nicest I have seen a customer ask for a remake. Well, dude, I get it. Mistakes happen, man. And I've worked in fast food. I used to work at an A&W when I was in high school. And, like, when stuff's flying through, it's easy to make mistakes. And I personally take kind of issue with people who... Even this makes me a hypocrite, but when you're going through the drive-thru or you go to a fast food place and then people start ordering off menu, they start saying, I want this, but I want you to take this off and put this on, and blah, blah, blah. I think that's rude, and I think that is not the place, dude. You're at a factory, and when you start telling them to make things custom, you should have went to a restaurant where you could have done that, not a fast food factory. I don't think they're an assembly line that are trying to, like, make food identically each time. It's kind of rude for you to throw a wrench in that, is my personal opinion, as I order my food custom without cheese. I just called them to let them know, like, because he's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. And it's like, no, dude, I get, like, it's not really that big of a deal, but I just still need food, you know? Sorry, we only take dad jokes at the minute store policy. I prefer flats, less cartilage and more meat. I like to not imagine that I'm eating cartilage. Is my thoughts. Wings are great, though. I think I like the bigger wings more than the smaller wings, like an actual chicken's wing. I used to make it all the time at home. Or here. Ooh, what's this? The Domino's cookie are probably the only thing I would take. Like, we got some chocolate orange ones, and they look super weird or burnt, but it's all melty in the middle. I like those cookies. They're okay. I'm afraid of trying the sauerkraut because I feel like it's super cold and maybe slimy. IDK. It kind of is. But it's good. I promise. Just try a little bit. And you know what? I remember, too, I think it was my sister doesn't like sauerkraut, and I was like, you should try a little, dude. Just try a little. And I guess what I meant by that was put a little bit on your brat and take a bite. Not take a little bit of sauerkraut and put it in your mouth. Like, imagine telling someone mustard's good and they're scared to try mustard, and you're like, well, just try a little. And then they take some mustard on their finger and then put it in their mouth. Yeah, of course it's going to taste bad, dude. It's like a condiment. Put it with something. Dip a French fry in it or something. Not sauerkraut, but whatever you're doing. We are going to end pretty quick here. Get your chats in, fellas. The 6 feet apart has not been a problem for me. I think I just saw something with Anthony Fauci, and he was saying that they're most likely going to be moving towards like a 3 foot apart now. I think a lot of studies have come out that have shown that 3 feet distancing and 6 feet distancing, there is not a significant difference in the amount of infection spread. And a lot of European countries have been doing 3 feet spreading, and it has been fine. And I think that they've been talking about doing that. Not that that's relevant to what we're talking about. You still on? Not that I care. I am. I know I keep saying I'm going to stop it, but now we're going to stop. We're hitting that 2-hour mark. We're over it already. Now I'm going to try sauerkraut because Vark said he promises. Oh, uh-oh. I hope it's not gross. I'm just going to say, oh, do you know what's going to happen? You're going to try sauerkraut. You're not going to like it. And I'm going to say, well, what brand did you get? And no matter what you respond to me, I'm going to say, oh, no. Don't get that kind. Try this other kind. And that's what's going to happen so that I'm always right. Alrighty. I think I'm caught up with chat so far. I don't really see anything else. So, guys, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to head off, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, you have a good one. I should probably get back to editing this where you guys aren't distracting me because I kind of thought that this is going to be something where I could just, like, edit it and talk while I did it, but it's way harder to multitask than I thought it was going to be. And I almost wonder if I have to, like, show you what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Maybe that would make more sense so I could talk through it. But, yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I hope you have a great one and sleep tight and all that good stuff. And I'm going to finish my energy drink and,